U.S. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis has stated that those who are openly serving as transgender in the military can continue serving pending a study to see what the impact would be to ban them. Now, there will be a panel involved, and according to what Mattis has to say, once that panel reports its recommendations and following my consultation with the Secretary of Homeland Security, I will provide my advice to the president concerning implementation of his policy direction. In the interim, current policy with respect to currently serving members will remain in place. So keep in mind, Donald Trump tweeted randomly out of nowhere that he intended on banning transgender individuals from serving in the military. There were no details. It wasn't a well thought out plan. The Defense Department was caught off guard by those tweets. Later on, though, Trump signed on Friday a memo reinstating a ban on transgender people serving in the military, which was lifted under President Barack Obama. He left Mr. Mattis to decide whether those already in the armed forces would be allowed to continue to serve. And so it seems like Mattis is kind of standing up for our military members who are transgender. We'll see how it plays out in the future, but I did not expect, well, I guess I should expect him to be the voice of reason here.
Yeah, well, not a lot of voice of reason in the Trump administration, but right. Okay, first let me clarify, because I feel like a lot of the press is reporting this as Mattis is disagreeing with Trump, and there is a chance that he will, and to Anna's point, when Trump first tweeted about this, the Joint Chiefs of Staff and Mattis were like, we were not consulted, so and no order has been given, so we're not going to give it. So we're not going to actually implement that. So that clearly seems like they're saying we disagree. That is where it comes from. And I get the sense, as Anna does, that they do disagree. Now, having said that, they're not in their acts are not showing that. What they're saying is there's three different layers to this. Trump tweet means absolutely nothing. In this case, like you could actually do a pardon through a tweet, which is unbelievable. Wow. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to go through a procedure which Trump did not follow in Arpaio's case. But for things that apply to the military, you must go through a process. You can't just tweet it. And so they're like, but we never heard of this, and I don't know how to react to this tweet. It's not part of the regular process. So the second step is Trump actually giving an order, which he did Friday, which is what Anna just pointed out. Okay, now we're actually have something in motion. Then the second step is Mattis has to figure out, as a defense secretary, how to apply it. Now, if Mattis was aligned with Trump, he might have come out and said, oh, we're definitely going to get rid of those folks. We just have to figure out how, and we'll get back to you on the strategy. Instead, he's coming out saying, no, we're not going to disrupt the forces, which by the way is the logical thing to do. And we're going to let those folks serve for now. Then we'll come up with the particulars of the policy and implement it.
Exactly, and keep in mind, there are between 4,000 to 10,000 members of our military who identify as transgender. And so just banning them and getting rid of them would be a really dumb idea, especially considering the fact that you'd have to replace those people with individuals that are not banned or deemed banned by Trump. And so you'd have to retrain those people. That takes a considerable amount of resources. This is all just a dumb idea that obviously panders to Trump's base, which was growing increasingly frustrated with the fact that there were no legislative wins. Healthcare had just failed. The repeal and replace of the Affordable Care Act had just failed. And so Trump's like, I don't know, well, how can I pander to my base? Let's ban the transgender people from our military.
Yeah, and unfortunately for his base, this will probably work. So first of all, think about how badly they've treated these people who offered to sacrifice their lives for our country. So Obama said, it's okay, you can serve in the military. So a lot of people who are transgendered came out and they said, okay, I'm transgender. And then Trump comes in and goes, just kidding. Now that you outed yourself, we're gonna throw you out of the military. So Mattis again is doing the right thing by saying, wait, let's figure this thing out. And second of all, to Anna's point, it costs, according to one study, at least $100 million to kick them out and to recruit new people, train them, etc. So it costs us almost 10 times as much. Trump claimed it was going to save us money. Now, is his base going to hear any of those finer points? No. All they're going to hear is, Trump against transgender people, me against transgender people, me think this is weird, me used to normal people. They think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yep.
So they're not gonna hear that the Defense Secretary and the Joint Chiefs are potentially against it. They're not gonna hear that it's gonna cost more money. They're just gonna hear hate and go, me like the sound of that. Right. So for his base, it'll probably work no matter how foolish it is and how unsupported it is by the rest of the government. If you like this video, you'll love the whole TYT network. Check it out at tytnetwork.com/join.